Yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna go through some bets. A lot of esports lines just dropped. I'm going to try to keep this live stream pretty short, but you can see right here, right? Like, look at this player. I mean, this is crazy. It's crazy how fragmented, how inefficient, these sports books are. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. His line is 15.5 on PrizePicks, 21 on Underdog. This play was straight off the fantasy optimizer. A lot of big discrepancies in esports, kind of dropping. A lot of NFL lines starting to pile up. So let's look for some plays. And again, if we hit yesterday our the Flex Friday play if you were on the live stream. So that was obviously pretty nice. We got the 10x here, and without further ado, let's look for some picks. So where do we want to start out? Why don't we start out on Underdog Fantasy? And again, like Underdog Fantasy compared to PrizePicks, they're pretty similar, but there's a reason to have both sports books, right? The first reason is they have different lines from one another. So if we go here, where is this guy? Right, like, first of all, they have different lines from one another. So if you want to take this player to go under, obviously you'd rather get him under 21 as opposed to under 15.5, right? It's just like if you're a day trader, you'd rather buy a stock at 15.50 and use PrizePicks as opposed to buying it at 21. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, so that they have different lines from one another. They also have different promos from one another, but they also have different payouts. So Underdog Fantasy is 6x payout for the 3-pick entries. PrizePicks is only 5x. And again, there's a ton of books, we could talk about on these live streams, but I generally just try to focus on like Fliff, Underdog Fantasy, and PrizePicks because they're available in the most locations. But you can see, like, if you use BetMGM, this is actually the top play on the positive EV tool, which just like scans the market, points out value. So you can see here, Javonte Williams, right? His under is priced at plus 110 on BetMGM. Every other book, every other data point has him like minus 115. So this is crazy good value, right? Plus 110, minus 120s kind of across the board, minus 115s. But, again, we'll focus kind of on the main sports books. So let's pull up PrizePicks. And let's get cracking. So again, like PrizePicks is a little different, right? When you look at a traditional sports book like FanDuel, you see a bunch of numbers, right? Like, oh, these bets are minus 113 odds. So you have to bet, 113 to win back 100. Whereas PrizePicks is very different. So on PrizePicks, they just have fixed payouts, right? So PrizePicks, it's like, okay, like any 5-pick entry you create, this is the payout you're getting. Right? It doesn't matter if you take overs, unders, if we switch this to a different player, whatever fucking sport you're betting on, it doesn't matter. You're always getting the exact same payout on PrizePicks. So basically, if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, which we've explained in other videos, what you're going to see is you have to win roughly 54.25% of your player props to have a positive ROI, right? So I can actually just share this spreadsheet here. What up, guys? JockMKT has a promo. So I'll have to look at JockMKT here in a second. But let's finish out, some PrizePicks. Shit, man. I got a lot of money on Navy right now. A lot of fucking money on Navy right now. So anyways, without further ado, let's check out this JockMKT promo. Where's the promo? I only see a Friday night promo. I don't see a promo on JockMKT, but we can go through some picks. But anyways, why don't we start out on PrizePicks? So again, on PrizePicks, like very simple, this platform has fixed payouts, right? You're always getting the same payout. You take overs, you take unders. You're always getting 10 to 0.4x. So basically, it all just boils down because you're getting the same payout if you bet on soccer, overs, unders, basketball, boxing, whatever. So it all just boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win. And what you'll see is on PrizePicks, you got to win 54.25% of your bets to be profitable. So all that the positive EV tool is going to do, right, is it's going to show us picks winning above 54.25% of the time. And this is all just based in, data. It's all based in, literally where the sports books are pricing things. There's nothing complicated, no bullshit, right? Like you can see here, right, Terry, he's heavily favored to go under on all sports books. This is just data, right? These are sports book line movement charts, all different stuff like that, right? But you can see here, the same way, like, okay, like, let's go back here. The same way the Jags are favored to beat the Falcons, you can see Terry's favored to go under, right? His under 4.5 receptions is a really big favorite. Bovada has a minus 160, Pinnacle minus 160. All the books have him heavily favored to go under. So that's the side we want to be on, right? We want to take his under. That's the more likely outcome. That's a pick winning above 54.25% of the time. So it's a profitable bet. So we can take that, right? And again, I follow a very data-driven approach. Obviously, this play is more profitable, higher profit margin, 3.51%, as opposed to like this play on Drake London. But again, like, who cares? So what we can do is we can go to Drake London and we want to take him over, right? And it's very simple, right? Like, I never fucking bet with my gut. It's like, okay, like, why do we like this bet on Drake London? Why is this bet winning above 50? Again, on PrizePicks, it all boils down. It doesn't matter what sport you're betting on. WNBA, baseball, it all just boils down. Can you win 54.25% of your bets, right? Here, his over is heavily favored on all the sports books. Pinnacle, really sharp, sophisticated sports book, they have his over at minus 145. Every book has the over heavily favored. So it's like, oh, okay, like, his over's a lot more likely. Shit, man. Damn, we got some soccer arbitrage bets. Crazy. We got some DraftKings arbitrage bets. Crazy. So what we can do, though, is we can go back here and we can go to PrizePicks. And I'll show you some other plays I locked in. So if you go to like pass plus rush, this play is incredible, right? And I think it actually pairs pretty nicely with this play on Drake London, right? Like if you look at Drake London, like if the Falcons have the ball more, then Travis will be less likely to score a touchdown. But again, a lot of people will be like, oh, like, I really like him. He's good at football. Like, if you look at the sportsbook screen and we just go ahead and we look at Travis, right? Let's take a look at him. Nope, I want to go to professional football. I apologize. So let's pull it up. Let's pull up Travis. You're going to see he's heavily favored to not score a touchdown, right? He's heavily favored to go under. So let's actually just pull this up. Right? Like you can see here, Fliff has him minus 165 to not score a touchdown. All these books have him heavily favored to go under. My assumption is most recreational, like most people probably take overs. Like it's very rare to take unders for anytime TD scores. In fact, most sports books, like you can see Caesars, they don't even have odds on the under. They only have a one-way market. They only let you bet the over. Damn, this game's at 6:30 a.m. But anyways, what I was going to say is like PrizePicks probably keeps this line up because they get so much square action coming in on the over, right? And this play's horrible. Like if you take his over, like again, on PrizePicks, you're getting minus 119 odds for a 5-pick flex play, 54.257%, right? And on other sports books, he's plus 120, plus 115 to score a touchdown. You can get him as a big underdog. You get a lot better of a payout. So like, if you're constantly getting ripped off, it's going to be hard to make money sports betting. So you can see here, it's like, okay, like what about Raheem? You can see he's also, relatively heavily favored to not score a touchdown. We can look at Tyreek Hill. Hill kind of mixed on the sports books. But there were some incredible plays if we take a look right here. So like you can see here, Williams, Javonte Williams, right? He's heavily favored to not score a touchdown. Fliff has him minus 165, Barstool minus 165, and the data never lies, right? And what a lot of people will say is like, oh, Javonte Williams, he should be favored to score a touchdown. And it's like, well, you're wrong. And the reason you're wrong is like, if he was actually more likely to score a touchdown, everyone would have bet it, right? Like, if you think you're smarter than the market, like if all the sharp bettors and the syndicates, if everyone came in and everyone started hammering, Javonte Williams to score a touchdown at plus 115, plus 120, which is underdog odds, sportsbooks would lower the odds, right? They move around lines based on where action's coming into the market. Damn, a lot of arbitrage bets right now. So you can see here a lot of arbitrage bets between Flip and DraftKings. So again, arbitrage is a different type of strategy. You can't do it on like Underdog or PrizePicks, but all arbitrage is when these sportsbooks, when their lines get so out of sync with one another, you can bet both the over and the under on equal and opposite sportsbooks and make a risk-free profit. So like here, Donovan Jones, it's between DraftKings and Flip. But anyways, this play on Javonte Williams is objectively good, right? Like all the books have him like, minus 165 to not score a touchdown, right? What does minus 165 mean? Every odd has an associated probability, right? So like, a lot of people, like I think it's important to understand, but you can see here, like the Vikings are roughly minus 200. That means they're a 2-to-1 betting favorite. The market is pricing the Vikings as a two-thirds to win the game. If you think the Vikings are 80% to win the game, that's a minus 400 favorite, 4-to-1 to win, right? Minus 400 means 4-to-1 to win, 80% to win the game. So like basically the way, a sharp bettor would think is if you think, okay, like, whatever, the Vikings are going to be winning this game 80% of the time, then minus 215 is a steal deal because 80% means minus 400. So you think the Vikings should be priced at minus 400, but you're getting minus 215. You can see the Eagles, though, are minus 400 favorites, so they're bigger favorites. So long story short, like we're just following the data to find picks on PrizePicks, winning above 54.25% of the time. So there were some other plays, too, that looked really good. So Zach Moss, no value. Some of these plays were meh. But you can see here, like the last one that looks really good is Walker. And some of these plays have already locked in, but fuck it. We'll do it again. And again, I think these picks pair pretty well together on Drake London and Travis Etienne. So what we can do is we can lock it in. And there we go. We got our first, PrizePick slip. Again, like very simple. All I'm doing is like all PrizePicks strategy is you need to find a bunch of picks winning above 54.25% of the time. And it seems easy, but you got to remember, like beating the books, like if you can win these over under 60% of the time, right? You're winning 60% of your picks. You're only losing 40% of your picks. Like you're not going to have a job. Like you would be a billionaire, right? Like if you could win these picks, if you could win all your over-unders on PrizePicks, Underdog Fantasy 60% of the time, or they'd probably cut you off before that, but you get the point. So what we can do is we can go to Underdog Fantasy, right? I kind of bounce around from sportsbook to sportsbook. Got to score. So what we can do next is we can go here and we can go to Underdog Fantasy. So again, I always recommend having as many of these books as possible. I'll kind of bounce around, Again, I'm trying to focus more on the main sports books, but look at this, arbitrage, Ravens-Browns game. The more sports books you have, the more arbitrage bets. You're getting underdog odds on the second half total points between Caesars and DraftKings. I mean, you could bet both of these for roughly $250, make $610 in risk-free profit. Not a bad deal, right? And this is like a main market, so you could even bet more on it. $500 on DraftKings, $512.50 on Caesars. You make a risk-free profit of $12.50. Pretty crazy. So what we can do is we can go back here. Oh, baby. So we can go here, and we'll fucking just follow the data, right? Wicks under. Alave under. So again, sometimes if you already have a bet on, they won't, let you bet it again. So Underdog Fantasy, like the hard part isn't the strategy. The hard part is really getting down enough action. Unfortunately, we did not validate your location. Bro, come on. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Hopefully my location has been validated. What the fuck? Let me try refreshing it. Super annoying. So anyways, what we can do is we can go here. And hopefully it will verify my location. If not, If not, we'll have to figure that out. Well, what we can always do is just log into another tab. Travis TD. Let's check it out. So what I'll do is I'll just pull Underdog Fantasy up. Well, whatever. I'll figure this out another time, but if you want a good play to go with, like Underdog Fantasy, it's basically the same as fucking PrizePicks. It's another one of these fixed payout sportsbooks where they're not changing your payout, based on you selecting over versus under. So it's very simple, right? You want to find 5 picks or 3 picks. Underdog Fantasy has pretty good payouts for these 3-pick entries. So on Underdog, you just want to find 3 picks, winning above 55% of the time. Just like a hedge fund is scanning through thousands of possible investments, looking for those rare few opportunities that they think actually have enough of an edge. It's the same thing here. Like Underdog Fantasy has tens and tens of thousands of lines. You're just looking for those few rare spots where you're like, oh yeah, like this is actually good. This is actually a play, with an edge. 5% of the time, which, if I pull up my little Underdog spreadsheet, you'll see on Underdog for 3 picks with no insurance, I can, I can also just share this article, which kind of breaks down like, Browns under on Fliff. This article just kind of breaks down, what, essentially like how many picks to go with on each of these platforms. And by that, I mean like, okay, like on PrizePicks, we explained earlier, they have pretty shitty payouts for these 3-pick entries, only a 5x payout, whereas Underdog Fantasy, a 6x. So obviously those things, make a pretty big difference long term. But you can see here, all the sports books have Jamar. They have Chase heavily favored to go over, so it's like, oh, damn, like that's a good pick. Like that's what we want to go with. Whereas for, Chris, all the books have his under heavily favored. Bovada has his under at -180, right? So you can see too, books are ripping odds towards his under. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't get it. Like, why do lines move? Why is this bet showing up now? And what you have to remember is the market is always moving as lineups come out. Here's the official starting lineup for the Athletics game, Astros game, all this shit, right? Moves around the market. For example, whoever's pitching against the Astros, the opposing pitcher, when the starting lineup comes out for the Astros, that's going to affect his strikeout props, right? His out props, lineup changes, all that type of stuff moves around the market. Anyways, let's hit up Underdog Fantasy. Ooh. Whoa. So let's check out player touchdowns. Damn. So it looks like lines are moving in this game. Nope, I want to make sure this is NFL. So again, this betting tool is just the sportsbook screen. Everything's just data, right? The whole point is not being fucking dumb and just betting with your gut and actually thinking about your bets. Rushing touchdowns. So we can check out this. So this is interesting, right? Now, this wouldn't be a good pick if you include receiving touchdowns, it seems like. But for Tony, his under in rushing touchdowns, right? Again, -170 and -160 on Bet99. Underdog Fantasy is a platform, right, where we would get the same payout, a 6x payout still, if we take him to go over or under. So obviously if, we have 2 sports books that, again, they're going to have better models than you. A lot of people think they can outmodel FanDuel. It's or PrizePicks or DraftKings. It's DraftKings is a $10 billion company. They have better data feeds than you. They have hundreds of full-time engineers. They have better models than you. You want to use their lines, their odds to, help you find good bets. Because all these books are setting lines independently. But just going at it alone is insane. But anyways, shit, man. There's some CSGO bets out there. It's this is crazy. Some CSGO bets. Ooh, baby. We got some MLB bets. So we want the over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs for Tovar. So again, like, why is this pick winning above, you know, whatever, 55% of the time? It's like, well, let's check out the MLB. Let's check out batter props, and let's go to hits plus runs plus RBIs, and you'll see he's heavily favored to go over, right? He's heavily favored to go over 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. So that's a great pick, you know, that we can go with. There's a shit ton of bets right now. T. Higgins, over 4.5 receptions. Okay. And 5-pick entries are a little marginally better with insurance. So this looks like, you know, it looks like the most random slip of all time. But hey, if, you know, shit. So I've already hit my limit on Tony. I do think that bet's very good. I've also hit my limit on Chris. So I'm going to have to get rid of those picks. So what we can do, though, is we can go back to, like, you know, Stu, and we can be like, okay, like, let's take a look at the Valorant data, right? And we can be like, okay, like, that sounds pretty cool, right? It's the same fucking concepts, finding value, finding an edge in the market. All these books set lines independently. You know, PrizePicks, $1 billion company. They have a sophisticated model. They're taking action, moving around their lines based on where action's coming in. Like, a lot of people think sportsbooks don't move around the lines. It's like, no, like, they do, right? And you can see that, like, literally everywhere. I mean, literally click on any sportsbook on OddsJam. You can see the line movements from that specific sportsbook. So, like, weather changes. Like, sportsbooks aren't fucking dumb. DraftKings is a $10 billion company. Their full-time job is setting lines and moving around lines based on where action's coming in, right? Because you hear a lot of people be like, oh, it's going to snow, you know, so, like, here's another good play on PrizePicks if you're looking for some value. Tyler Conklin, over 2.5 receptions. And again, this isn't something you, like, would need OddsJam to do. OddsJam obviously scans the entire market, tries to make it easy. You know, there's, like, tens of thousands of lines on Underdog Fantasy, right? There's a lot of shit to look at, but you can pull up these sports books. I mean, that's what I did before there was an OddsJam, right? You can pull up these sports books, you know, side by side, and just kind of, like, browse around, look for value, understand the concepts, whatever. So we got Stu over 41. Damn. So now we got a nice little 4-pick entry, but it's like, okay, like, you know, can we make it a 5-pick? That would be nice. Damn, and sucks I can't get this Tony play down. I mean, again, the hard part is just getting down the volume. That's the hard part. So we can refresh this. So again, you can see here, there's, like, some line discrepancies just between PrizePicks and Underdog. So a lot of those plays I try to avoid, at least at first. You know, just because, like, there's only 2 data points. So, you know, and then, like, you know, on Underdog, you want to stop there. But fuck it. Maybe we take it. Under 55.5. Maybe we make a little 5-pick entry. And then it's like, damn, okay. So now we got a nice little 5-pick entry. We got NFL, 2 baseball plays. We got a Valorant play, and we got a CSGO play. And again, if that's where the value is, like, who cares, right? It's like a hedge fund. Literally, that's how you should be thinking about your sports betting. You just want to find things with an edge. A hedge fund will invest in small companies, private companies, public companies, marijuana companies, wherever there's an edge. And you can see these assholes already locked this line. So Underdog in general seems to be the one screwing up their CSGO lines, right? Like, for example, so Underdog Fantasy seems to be the more exploitable platform. Like, if we look at this player, Chiar, you know, where we got him under 21 headshots, you know, we can see here, where does Underdog flat out just remove the line, but you can see PrizePicks hasn't even budged, right? They still have their line at 15.5. Seems like Underdog Fantasy was just screwing up big time. And OddsJam caught that discrepancy. Obviously, you have to, like, this isn't fucking passive income. You got to put in the time. You can't be lazy. So many people are so fucking lazy. You got to put in the time, you know, just like a trader, right? Like, to put in, to find the good opportunities. So anyways, let's go. So we want I am under 57. And that is a hard name. Damn, baby. We don't do that. So here we want I am under 57. So it's like, okay, like here's our little 5-pick entry on Underdog. So we can go back here. And there we go. Beautiful. Such a random assortment, but that's where the value is. That's where we'll be playing. Bro, what the fuck, Navy? What the fuck? So anyways, let's go back here. And we can take out combo props. And we can take a look. You know, so you can see, damn, there's some, the Drake London play. Jerry Jeudy under 4.5 receptions. Damn, there's actually a lot of PrizePicks value right now. So there's some college football value. Damn, maybe we just got to go a little, place one more PrizePicks. Again, some of the best plays are in these touchdown props, but if we take a look here, right, under 4.5 receptions, you know what makes sense to pair with this? Well, kind of makes sense. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Right? If Jeudy goes under, then the Broncos probably have possession less. Javonte Williams is more likely to go under. Kind of makes sense. So Conklin, we want him over 1.5 receptions. So again, it's very simple. All OddsJam is doing is constantly reading in the data, you know, tracking these line movements and showing you, hey, here's a spot where, you know, sportsbooks have an over or an under, you know, really heavily favored. So for, you know, Conklin, his over is heavily favored on all the sportsbooks. So that's a play with an edge on PrizePicks, right? It has enough of an edge to, you know, justify betting. If he goes over, right, or under, you're getting the same payout. So you want to take his over. What we can also do is you can kind of look at, if you want to get a sense of like what is the correlation. So we're looking at two players, Jeudy and Javonte Williams, both to go under. Is what you can do is if we went to like anytime touchdown score and we put in Williams, and then we put in, you know, let's go back to same game parlay, and let's go to receiving yards, right? So it's roughly the same. There's just not a ton of correlation, period. Like if Jerry Jeudy goes over versus under, it doesn't really affect the odds on your same game parlay much. So again, like by law, you know, the way that PrizePicks works, because it's technically a fantasy sports company, is they have to have fixed payouts. Whereas on FanDuel, they have variable payouts. It's like a traditional sports book. So you'll notice, right, if I take like, okay, like, you know, if I take like, okay, like, you know, Russell Wilson over in passing yards, and I take Jeudy over, I'm only getting plus 165 odds. Whereas if I take Wilson over and Jeudy under, I'm getting plus 346 odds, right? Because obviously, if we take Wilson over, then Judy's more likely to go over. If we take Wilson over and Jeudy under, like you're getting basically 2 times better odds on your parlay. So long story short, like, yeah. I mean, sometimes we can find some pretty good correlation, you know, on PrizePicks. So what we could do is we could go back here and we could go to, you know, I mean, this really is where the value is. So fuck it. Like we're going to be all in on, I mean, obviously I'm very limited to low bet sizes on this platform, but who cares? If that's where the value is, that's what, you know, we'll be taking. So we can take him under. And again, there's some different plays you could go with. You don't have to tail this exactly as it is. So it's like, what the fuck? Look at this. Like, this is insane. We got this guy under 21 headshots. Underdog just put his line back up, as you can see on OddsJam, at 13, right? So when I talk about these, so what I could do is I could bet this. You know, obviously Underdog has me limited to only $100 per player, so I'm not actually going to be able to bet this. But this just shows you how clueless these sportsbooks are, which should make, you know, you more confident in your ability to make money. They opened a line at 21. Now it's 13. Bro, oh my God. I needed a Navy. Anyways, so here we have Judy under, Javonte Williams under, okay, Conklin, Etienne, Walker. So this is a 5-pick entry. And then we like Malik Carr over 2.5 receptions. You can see sportsbooks like Fliff have his over heavily favored. So we can go to college football and we can make this, a 5-pick entry or 6-pick entry. Conklin over. I mean, it also looks like there's some strikeout props. Merrill Kelly. So damn, Merrill Kelly. Chris Moore over in receiving yards. Breece Hall under in receptions. I mean, there's a lot of bets. Kittle over in receptions, right? And it's all the same strategy. Any pick winning above 54.25% of the time will be profitable on a PrizePicks entry. So out of all the crap on PrizePicks, that's all you're looking for. So I'll try to bet this, and you'll see they're going to be like, oh, your max is only $10. So again, like here we have a nice little 6-pick entry. It's a lot of the same plays. If you don't want to, you can skip over the touchdown plays if you've already bet them. Again, PrizePicks limits me to $10 max bet size for these 6-pick entries. So like, I don't really care that much because they're not letting me bet a lot. But if you wanted to replace some of these touchdown plays, Breece Hall under 1.5 receptions looks solid. Chris Moore over 20.5 receiving yards. Kittle over 3.5 receptions. Like, there's some good plays. Yeah, so we'll call it a day for now. I'm sure there's some bets on ParlayPlay and other sports books, but hopefully this was helpful. I know I didn't look at the chat a lot, but feel free to hit me up, alex@oddsjam.com or whatever. Oh, fuck. Well, there is a play on ParlayPlay, it looks like. Bro. Oh, my gosh. So what's great about ParlayPlay is they have even better payouts. Oh, my gosh. Is they have even better payouts than PrizePicks. So, good call out. Good call out. Thank you so much. So what we can do is we can go here, and then we can change to ParlayPlay. So you'll notice they have better payouts. We can kind of, damn, and this bet looks crazy on Fliff. I mean, look at that. Under 135 half. So what I can actually do is pull up Fliff. So again, Fliff is a little different. What do people think about CMC? So anyways, we can go here, right? And we can go to Fliff. Under 35.5 points. I mean, look at this. It's fucking insane, right? Like, all the books are ripping the line lower. Fliff, the average line is plus 130. Fliff is 155. So again, all these books are billion-dollar companies. Like, you want to treat them as data points. Even if, you love sports, you think you can predict the fucking future in sports, like, you should still, be trying to find some value at least in the market. So we can go ahead. Oh, shit. I'm out of money on Fliff. I locked in a ton of arbitrage bets. So, but anyways, this play looks really good on Fliff. There's some good plays on JockMKT. Trevor Lawrence under 1.5 passing TDs. Some good plays on Bovada. I mean, there's just a lot of value in the market. Like, there are a lot of people who use OddsJam or professional sports bettors too. They just have all these sports books, Underdog, BetMGM, sit there all day, find value, find plays with an edge. Not every bet's going to win unless you're arbitrage betting. If you're arbitrage betting, then yeah, literally every bet can win. But anyways, that is not what I needed to see. But anyways, we can go back here and we can go to the Fantasy Optimizer. And we can go to ParlayPlay. And we can take a look. Tank Dell under 4 receptions. This play looks crazy good. So if we go to NFL receptions, let's take a look. So they have his line at 4, right? You can see every other fantasy site has his line at 3.5, right? Fliff has his line at 3.5 with the under favored. ParlayPlay has the line at 4. They have the line at 3.5 with the under favored. So again, all these books are taking bets, moving around their lines based on where action's coming in. right? They have sophisticated models, better data feeds than you, but they're all doing this independently. So you essentially have hundreds of data points. All these books posting lines, are a data point on, hey, where should the line be set? Very simple. So not doing anything complicated here. So what we can do is just try to quickly make a little slip, and I'll kind of show you why ParlayPlay is such a great platform. So first of all, they have this slide the line promo where if we want to bet Chris Moore's over, right, we can bet him over 19.5. You can bump his line only for $20 a day max bet size. But you can bump the line, kind of in your favor. So if you want to take him over 20.5, you can bump him to over 19.5. Anyways, we have Carr, it's college football, over 2.5 receptions. So it's the same strategy as PrizePicks. The only difference is what you'll kind of notice is damn, and they have a lot of plays right now. Pretty crazy. So what you'll notice about ParlayPlay, right, is if we go here, and then we wanted Merrill Kelly over 4.5 strikeouts. I apologize. All sportsbooks have his over heavily favored. Is they give you 25, 2.5, 0.5x, right? PrizePicks is, 25, 2.4. So ParlayPlay is a bit higher of payouts. Obviously that, please enable location services. Are you fucking... Why are these websites so fucking stupid? So let's go here and let's refresh this. Now I'm going to have to rebuild this before the line moves. So we want ETN under, we want Walker under, we want Dell under 4. All the other books have his line. So again, ETN, Walker, all the books have him super heavily favored to go under. So we want Merrill Kelly, we want Carr, both over. They bumped Merrill Kelly up already. Damn. So we want Malik Carr over. We want Chris Moore over 20.5. And what else are we looking at? So this is Titans. So again, no picks in the same game. No, nothing to worry about in terms of correlation. Then we can add in some random CSGO pick or fucking, there's NFL picks. So, this is beautiful, right? So this platform has better payouts than PrizePicks, right? First of all. So, and they have a ton of good bets, So let's just fire off some slips. So this play is incredible. So we want him, right? So if we just go to CSGO and we look at these lines, ParlayPlay has this line at 38.5. The other two data points in the market are nope, his line should be lower. So we want to take the under. And again, you could use that slide the line promo, bump the line in any direction you want. But ParlayPlay has such good place the bet. You've already reached your full game limit on Kenneth Walker. So I guess I already bet Walker. Didn't even realize that. So what I'm going to have to do is go here, and we'll change this to an NFL pick. Although I do think Walker's really good. So obviously if you can, maybe just bet that. But there we go. So here we have a 6-pick entry. Boom. And then what we can do is we can go here, and now there's some other value we can go with. So it's okay, there's the first thing we went with. And then we can go here. Why do we like this play on Lecro? And again, the hard part is just getting down the volume, right? They only have a max bet size of $60 on this platform. So that's why OddsJam's great, because it's just scanning the market, and it's just going to show you every play there is that has an edge, Because if you're only placing one bet a day, even if your ROI is really good, 10%, which is pretty good. It's not a bad ROI, right? So, that's $6 a day in profit, which fucking sucks, right? And people love to talk about unit sizes and stuff. And obviously everyone starts out betting small, but no one wants to make $3 a day. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? So anyways, if we go here and we go to the NFL and we go to, tackles plus assists, you'll see Kendricks Did I get that right? Yeah, Kendricks. He's heavily favored to go over. He's like minus 140 on all these books, you know, to go over. I'm not sure why he's not coming up. DraftKings. But anyways, you get the point. Like you can see it here. All these books have Eric Kendricks heavily favored to go over. So it's like, ah, dang, like that's a pretty good, you know, play to go with. And we just want to make sure we don't have any picks from, you know, the same game, obviously, just because we don't want to run into any correlation issues. Okay. And it looks like such a random slip. I always say that, but if that's where the value is, that's, you know, where the value is. So we'll be placing this. And we got him under 7.5 tackles plus assists. You could bump it to 8 if you wanted to for the promo. We got Young-Hoo Koo under 1.5 field goals. Damn, there are just a ton of bets right now, right? So this will be our next play on ParlayPlay. So again, ParlayPlay, it's just like, you know, I typically just like check them out every couple hours. There's usually a fair amount of good plays with value. Again, the variance, the ups and downs on this platform are pretty bad. Not bad, but, you know, it's just pretty brutal because it's a parlay-only website. So let's go back here and let's go to ParlayPlay. 6-pick insured entries. Right, so you can see there's just a ton of bets, right? Why would we want to take, you know, this player, right? Him under 1.5 receptions. I know we had this last week and it lost. But again, it's like just follow the data. All the books have him heavily favored to go under. Jalen Waddle. All books have him heavily favored to go under 4.5 receptions. Michael Thomas. Heavily favored to go over. So there's a lot more picks we could go with. You know, all winning just, again, above. And you can see we're already starting to... We got a lot of picks. We got a lot of picks starting out. And again, you don't have to win every pick to turn a profit on these platforms. Like this is obviously beat because our fucking bet lost. But again, like 60, you know, we'll still get a 2.5x payout if we go 5 for 6. So anyways, we locked in a lot of plays on this live stream. Hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, see you guys in a bit. If I didn't answer anything, feel free to hit me up. Hot Streak and Fliff are worth it for sure.